It's been a rough 24 hours for SIG legally, and I'm not talking about the videos where people are making them go off with the screw in the trigger guard. Hey everybody, welcome back to Guns and Gadgets, your source for Second Amendment news you won't hear anyone else. Now, SIG Sauer has been in the news lately. Unfortunately for them, there's been two major updates that could have a serious implication for one of the most popular handguns in America and the world, the SIG Sauer P320. Now, the first one of two issues that they have hit their plate in the last 24 hours came out of Massachusetts yesterday. A federal jury found that this SIG Sauer P320 is defectively designed, but SIG won't have to pay the police officer the damages he sought in the case. That's a huge deal, but there is a huge, giant twist here that very well could affect every single lawsuit against the 320 going forward. Stay tuned for that. Before I dig in, I want to thank today's sponsor, the Sonoran Desert Institute. SDI is a fantastic option if you're interested in turning your passion for firearms into a career. They offer accredited online gunsmithing, firearms technology programs, and they have drone classes as well that let you learn from the comfort of your own home. Whether you're new to the industry or looking to sharpen your skills, SDI has the resources and training to help you get there. Learn more by heading over to the link. It's sdi.edu/GNG. It's in the description and the pinned comment. You can also use that QR code. Check them out. All right, this first case we're talking about comes out of Cambridge, Massachusetts, where according to the complaint, police officer Jacques DeRogers had his department-issued P320 secured to his belt when it unintentionally discharged while walking toward the police station in October of 2019. And this is a quote, "At no time did Officer DeRogers touch the trigger, and no other item touched the trigger when the gun discharged," according to the complaint. The bullet impacted Officer DeRogers' scrotum, left inner thigh, and exited his right knee, causing devastating injury. The department no longer issues the P320 after 4, not 1, 2, 3, or 4 unintended, or I guess they're called uncommanded discharges now. That's a lot. Now, for this huge twist I teased, after Officer DeRozier and his legal team convinced a federal jury that the SIG Sauer P320 pistol was defectively designed and caused him injury when it uncommandedly discharged while he was on duty, he won't receive any actual compensatory and punitive damages after the jury decided with SIG that the officer, quote, voluntarily and unreasonably used the P320 pistol knowing that it was defective and dangerous, end quote. And that comes from the verdict form. Let me say that again. The jury sided with SIG that the officer voluntarily and unreasonably used the P320 pistol knowing that it was defective and dangerous. Will this be something we see in future lawsuits as they get decided? If the alleged victims use the P320 pistol believing it's defective and dangerous, will they lose any monetary parts of their judgment? Now, that's something I've never heard of in the legal world and never thought I'd hear. Like, there are many lawyers who watch my stuff. If you've heard of this, let me know, 'cause I never have. Now, attorney Robert W. Zimmerman of the Saltz Mongelusi Bendesky firm, they are representing hundreds of allegedly injured SIG Sauer gun owners. He said, quote, "While we are disappointed he won't be getting any compensatory damages, we are happy that a jury, now for the third straight time, has found the P320 is defectively designed and those defects caused Officer DeRogers' injury." That's big, man. That's big. Now, the second issue SIG's dealing with landed on their laps today. A U.S. appeals court, a federal appeals court, today revived a lawsuit seeking to hold SIG Sauer liable to an immigration and customs enforcement officer who was injured when his P320 allegedly went off accidentally during a training drill. The Third U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals in Philadelphia said that a trial judge erred by dismissing ICE officer Keith Slutowski's lawsuit after excluding testimony from 2 experts about whether the gun's design could cause injury. Slutowski's gun allegedly discharged from within its holster after his hand hit the grip in September of 2020 at a Newcastle, Delaware firing range. A bullet went through his upper right hip and out his thigh. While unsure whether debris or the holster itself caused the trigger to depress, the former Marine said the lack of an external safety to prevent unexpected firings made his gun unsafe. Slutowski sought $10 million in damages. Now, writing for the 3-judge appeals court panel, Circuit Judge Stefanos Bibas, he said, the trial judge properly excluded testimony from 2 experts about whether Slutowski's gun caused his injury because they hadn't done any testing. But the en banc appeals court today said testimony about possible design flaws should have been admitted. It returned the case to U.S. District Court Judge Barclay Surik in Philadelphia for a possible trial. Now, the judge wrote that the 320's design is technical and probably needs explaining. From there, Slutowski must rely on his lay eyewitness testimony. It may not prove persuasive, but that is up to the jury, not the judge. Now, Slutowski's wife is also a plaintiff, and their lawyer, the same Robert Zimmerman from the case I talked about in the beginning here, he said, our clients are thankful for the opportunity to present their case to a jury. Now, these aren't the first couple of cases where the 320s come under fire, no pun intended. Multiple lawsuits have claimed that the pistol can fire on its own. I've covered many of them here on this channel, and I've also covered SIG's victories in the few cases that have been decided thus far as well as now the 3rd consecutive loss for them. Now, these lawsuits have alleged that the pistol can fire on its own, often during holstering or unholstering. And some police departments, as we know now, have even stopped using the firearm, and there's been footage over the years, including surveillance video, that seems to back up those claims of firearms going off while in the holster. At least on the police side they have. A very recent SIG statement that they put out a couple days ago reads, quote, the P320 cannot, under any circumstances, discharge without the trigger first being moved to the rear. I'll continue with the statement. This has been verified through exhaustive testing by SIG Sauer engineers, the U.S. military, several major federal and state law enforcement agencies, and independent laboratories, end quote. And it's different than their earlier statements when this first started getting going and up until the unfortunate incident where the airman lost his life when his M18 allegedly went off on its own while still in the holster on a table and shot him in the chest. Before that, SIG was saying the gun can't go off unless the trigger is pulled. Now they're saying, moved to the rear. So from the trigger being pulled to first being moved to the rear is completely different. I mean, it could be semantics. Maybe the person who wrote that statement meant that, but just did it a different way. I don't know. But the Cambridge lawsuit is the 3rd consecutive decision against SIG, and it could open the floodgates for them. And as many people want to put in there, I am not looking for SIG to get torched in here. I'm not looking for them to get destroyed. But if there's an issue, there's an issue. And there are dozens of pending lawsuits against SIG, and this jury decision just gave them a huge boost. But it also is saying that if you use that gun where you think that it's defective and dangerous, you might not get the compensatory decision. I don't know. Let's be clear, though, that the P320 is a very popular firearm. It's been adopted by the U.S. military as the M17 and M18. It's trusted by many law enforcement agencies, not only here in America, but worldwide. I own 5 myself, and many of you probably own one too. And I have 2 big questions for you watching. Number 1, do you think if juries start consistently siding with the plaintiffs in these cases, that we could be looking at a major recall a redesign, or even waves of civil liability against SIG, that could impact not just SIG, but gun owners, departments, and even the broader firearms industry. And number two, do you think this is the result of a real design flaw, or is it a case of user error and legal manipulation? Drop your thoughts in the comments down below. I would love to hear your comments and hear from your experiences. Folks, if you love fresh roasted coffee or loose leaf tea or hot chocolate, check out the Blackout Coffee Company. If you love freedom and great coffee, head on over to blackoutcoffee.com/GNG and use code GNG10 to save 10% off your order and support a company that stands firmly behind the Second Amendment. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for the latest breaking 2A news, and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss what's coming next. I will keep you up to date on not only these cases, but whatever else comes down the pike about the alleged incidents or the alleged deficiencies with the 320. And until we see each other again, be safe, stay vigilant, and stay free. I'll see you all in the next one. Let me know what you think down below those two questions. I want to gauge the pulse of the viewers here. Take care.